Welcome back to Luigi's Mansion of Waluigi Moon. We're now going underground, so I guess we'll play the underground theme now.
If it didn't play it up until this point now, it's never going to play it ever. And quite frankly, it needs to be a bitching remix at this point in time in Mario's career.
Honestly,
Because it is the most repetitive theme in Mario history.
It's better as a riff for a different track than it is a track on its own merit.
Yeah, I think it makes a good, background accompaniment.
Although, John, just to counter your argument, I think the most repetitive track in Mario history is the original NES Mario Brothers one, Bowser Castle.
Neck and neck.
That's
Well, if we want to get super repetitive, I guess the invincibility thing that loops after, 2 seconds?
yeah, but that also only ever plays for 10 seconds at any given time. It's not like you're playing a supersonic with that thing playing the entire time.
You make a good counter argument.
Seriously, that's the one thing I can never forgive the Genesis Sonic games for, is I don't want to use Supersonic. Not because he makes the game too easy, but because it gets rid of the music, and I hate it.
Ah, man.
Okay, so it's been like forever since we've done Luigi's Mansion. Like, in terms of us recording shit, not in terms of you guys
Yeah, I was
watching
actually
it.
going to ask, what exactly has been happening up to this
We're
point?
in the
'Cause I
desert
forget.
mansion.
We found the marvelous compass, so now we're going to find the underground path to the Waffle Kingdom.
At least that's what we want to happen.
This is the way it's looking right now. It just seems to be somebody's shitty zombie survival bunker. Like they thought, oh man, all we just need is canned food, so they went to the supermarket once and got canned food and forgot water and board games and all that other important stuff.
Yeah, that was one of Voltec's less successful experiments.
Did that guy just whack us in the head with a rock?
Yeah, while I was in the stunned cutscene, so thanks for that game.
I'm just, all these ghosts were being super creative with their environmental stuff before, and this guy's just like, I got a rock, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite savage.
Blunt object, yeah.
Yeah, Blind Dodger is like a fucking rock. He's like a caveman, like a Neanderthal. They see you as a threat.
There's something scary in a primal way of someone just picking up the nearest heavy object and braining you over the skull with it.
I don't want to ever get murdered, although considering that I do YouTube videos, it'll probably happen. It'll probably happen. But if I had to pick a way to die, getting blunt force trauma and getting bludgeoned to death would not be part of it, because you probably won't die instantaneously unless they get you right on the head. So, that shit hurts. You feel like your bones snap and shit.
Yeah, bomb.
Holy shit, this place just has everything.
The worst part about it...
Don't step into the light. You might get injected with poison-tipped arrows.
The worst part about it would probably be that once you get hit in the head, even if they don't get you right away, they've probably knocked you out. They've knocked your senses out. So, not only does it hurt, but you are also quite powerless.
So what do you think came first, the ghosts or the bombs? Like, did the ghosts put the bombs here to fuck with Luigi, or did they kill
the chicken or the egg scenario?
Well, there's two options here. One is more gruesome than the other. One is the ghosts put the bombs there to fuck with Luigi, which, okay, haha, kids game. The other is that all these people died due to mining explosion accidents, which is a little bit less fun.
Oh, dark implications are nothing new for the Mario universe. There again, we go back to the original Mario game on the NES.
Well-
And the manual states all.
Well,
Or maybe they all died because they got stuck in giant hourglasses.
No, if that happens, you go to the Shadow Realm.
Speaking of dark, though, have you guys ever read the portrait descriptions for the ghosts in the original Luigi's Mansion? Because some of them
Yep.
are really grim. Like,
It's almost like it's a horror setting.
yeah, oh God, a lot of the specifics are evading me though at the moment.
There's a ghost baby.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh wait, I remember it now. The ghost baby Chauncey is the first boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they make a big deal to say that baby was like born as a ghost, but the twins weren't. So like it's okay. We can't kill an infant, but 2 5-year-olds, that's okay.
How are you born
They're
a
old
ghost?
Well, when a male ghost and a female ghost get together and make Nookie, like well, no, if their dad gets spooky,
Huh.
then a baby born from the ethereal plane is created. And that is one of the many origin stories I've figured for Casper the Friendly Ghost. When they don't want to poison a sickly kid.
Or have him commit suicide.
That too. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Nah.
Of all the things for people to put a lighthearted spin on, ghosts is one of the weirdest, and yet the most common.
I think it...
Weird because just the general idea of a ghost's origin from, a spirit.
Yeah, I like, if it's a ghost, no matter how silly it looks, at some point it was a person who died, which probably wasn't a pleasant experience for them.
I think it tends to happen, especially in, like, kid-friendly stuff, is because it's probably, like, out of all the supernatural kind of things you can go for, it's the least violent in well, maybe not violent, but, like, you don't need to have blood for a ghost, where even stuff like vampires, people are getting their blood sucked out of them, and werewolves, body transformation.
The thing that I think makes ghosts popular, at least among people who don't think it's a satanic concept, is that it's kind of a vaguely child-friendly way of explaining the concept of death in the first place. Kind of...
Gem.
Yeah, but it was being a little weird. It was acting a little bit weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's not how heavy objects fall down staircases. In fact, it kind of was acting like a bouncy ball there. Oh, god damn it.
Go back to the ghost discussion.
Brief.
I was getting rock hard.
Brief tangent. Whenever Luigi answers the phone, it sounds like he's saying Jello, not like hello, like you want some Jello.
Roundhouse.
Roundhouse. Well, honestly, Luigi would think, oh no, we're gonna find the Batcave.
Where's the poles?
They're in cahoots.
You see, the reason why Boo has to have this guy follow him around is because he can't hold anything with his stubby little hands. It's actually a very sad existence.
Did we just witness a Boo poo?
Probably.
Sure, why not?
Oh, don't put it in the vacuum. Clean up after your booze, kids. It's $300 fine in the park.
No, you're not allowed to have booze in the park, John. It's a public place.
I take it that if you open the other container, it will explode.
They'll pop out a bomb, yeah.
And honestly, if that happens, you're an idiot.
Yeah. You saw exactly which one it went into. It does have to be shown, okay?
Yeah, it could have been a terry bomb, and I love the 4th of July.
Yeah, what, Gab?
Damn it,
If he
Professor.
calls you to say, that's a door.
Static.
Shit, we're playing fucking...
That was the worst game of Wheel of Fortune ever.
Wheel of Fortune or Hangman.
It's like Mad Libs, only you pick a random letter instead of a random word, and it's not as funny.
Yeah, because you can't say dicks as a letter. Like, that's at least 4 letters. Takes way more work to be sexual than that.
No, this is a letter. You.
I don't get it.
You never will.
Oh, now I get it. You're an asshole. Hey, wait a minute. What happened to all that gold that you got in that minigame?
What, on the ride down?
No, in the little minigame room. The
hourglass?
Yeah, the one where you, like, the hourglass, yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, but it's not in your coin total anymore.
No, that just counts up what you're picking up at the moment.
Alright, I'm gonna say, definitely not feeling...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Definitely not feeling the desert horror thing here. I mean, it didn't work so well when it was in realistic for Resident Evil 5, so I'm not really seeing it here either.
It's dark.
I'm
Stank.
it's dark. It's not so much dank as dusty. But like desert-themed horror things are barely scary when you're actually doing mummy stuff with it, but
I don't know why mummies tend to not feel as scary as other stuff, though, because, like, being cursed for trying to... I guess, you know what? I think what it might be is that you feel like the people deserve it more, because you're, like, robbing their crap, and,
Return the slab.
Well, mummies don't actively, cause trouble. You cause trouble for them, and then they cause trouble for you in return. So it just kind of feels like you got what you asked for there, buddy.
I actually have not seen the original The Mummy before.
Like the Brendan Fraser one?
The Brendan Fraser film?
That's like the really old black and white one, right?
Oh, okay, the really black. No.
Oh, the old one. No, I have not seen that either.
Yeah. You're talking about like the new, not the new.
Well, new in quotes.
Yeah. That movie came out in like
The
98.
90s one, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a sequel that took place in like China, too?
That was the third movie.
Yeah.
At that point, what does it have to do with
Kung Fu Yetis.
Well, mummification isn't a strictly Egyptian thing. That's just the most traditional form of it.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, looks. I've never.
Speaking of mummies,
I've never
Ghosts
actually.
don't die, but plumbers do. Oh no, he just sort of spontaneously fell asleep.
yeah, your self drains to zero and his narcolepsy kicks in.
Thanks, Ghost Dog.
What? I'm tired. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, honestly, these greenies with, like, the shovels are the most annoying, or anything that blocks your strobe light, really. Because they'll just throw a ton of them at you for no reason.
You got to prioritize the threat. Like, there might be like a psychological tick that wants you to go after the ghost with the shovel first, but honestly, it's easier to go after the two that don't have a shovel. Because they'll just get in your way.
The thing is, they all had shovels.
And then punch them in the face.
They're ghosts.
Triple kill.
You see, the movie Ghosts, Patrick Swayze, has taught me that with enough concentration, ghosts can interact with physical objects if they concentrate enough. So, at the moment of concentration where they're trying to touch a physical object, you have to greet them with a fist.
What about Poltergeist?
You see, poltergeists like to possess physical objects. Do they ever possess humans in poltergeists?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't recall them possessing... Well, it has been a while since I've seen Poltergeist, though.
That's another one I haven't watched.
Oh, the original Poltergeist? You should watch that.
That was like one of the few... That was one of those movies before the PG-13 rating came out, right? Because I remember...
I think so.
Well, it was Raiders of the Lost Ark was responsible for the PG-13.
To be honest, I'm kind of fucking surprised that it took so long for people to think, hey, we need a separate rating for teenagers instead of kids. Because not only do teenagers have higher tolerance levels, but it's kind of freaking condescending toward teenagers to lump them all into the same age group like that.
I think part of it was just a business thing where it took a while for companies to realize that teenagers were a marketable demographic. Where there was kind of...
They're more marketable than kids. Kids have to get their parents to buy stuff. Teenagers can buy stuff on their own.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it because, I think back to the 80s, and if you were not an adult who was pushing paper or, working on your own entrepreneurship or small business, you were probably a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons. G.I. Joe, Transformers, Voltron, My Little Pony, Cabbage Patch. What was the teen demographic in the 80s?
Arcades, probably.
I would debate that until the late 80s and early 90s.
I think I sort of get what you're trying to say, but at the same time, everyone has to be a teenager before they're an adult, so...
Yeah, but what kind of television campaign or merchandise was catering towards teens specifically at that time? And honestly,
MTV, I guess.
MTV?
I think it's more like really the 70s. I think is probably the first we see of stuff that's aimed towards that. teenager audience, whereas before that, it really was a very harsh split between stuff aimed at adults and stuff aimed at kids. I think the biggest difference is that we didn't tend to see themes as like violence or sex as much, so-called adult content wouldn't be considered inappropriate for kids, just boring. I think would probably be the big difference.
I guess not so much with arcades right now. I would just say video games in general. Because that's the only thing that's coming to my mind at the moment. Because I'm thinking back to when I was a teenager. You know, obviously I wasn't buying, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff anymore, Power Rangers merchandise. I was just strictly video games. So I would pay attention to that shit.
Video games took a while to get a to get a T rating too.
PG-13.
Yeah, and even then it took longer for them to get E10, which is basically the equivalent of a PG, essentially. So...
Well, they had kids to adults for the first thing.
Video game ratings are a bit weird. They had kids to adults, and eventually they broadened that to include E for everyone, early childhood, which you rarely see, and E10 and up.
Hey, Elmo's Number Adventure was a masterpiece.
It's just like they don't make too many video games at that rating level. It's just a rating that exists to round out the list.
It's just edutainment. That's the only stuff you see rated E early childhood. Because
I mean, the specifics of what constitutes an E rating over an EC rating are pretty broad. you basically will blunder into them by accident no matter what you do.
Dude, I'm totally calling Luigi Loogie now.
Luigi.
Well, Professor Yak called you there, and the I was missing in Luigi because of the bad transmission. So it's Loogie. You slob of spit.
Luigi is so proud of that 2-star rank.
I am player 2 after all.
If he didn't die, he probably would have gotten a 3-star considering how much gold he sucked up.
Yeah.
But then someone had to take a nap.
Yeah, I don't care. The rankings don't mean anything.
This isn't a true 100% playthrough.
I'm just waiting for Luigi to pop out of this monitor and EGAD notices that he's turned into a Minecraft model.
Minecraft or
Retro Hero.
Retro Hero. Yeah, Retro Hero DLC skin, right?
Oh man, that Mighty Number 9 model was horrible.
Yeah, how about that Mighty Number 9? No, I'm kidding. We were reading the commentary.
New upgrade.
You know, retro style models in 3D games, modern 3D games rather, never seem to work right. Because, like, okay, there's one of those for the Tomb Raider reboot too. Where
Wait, they have a classic Lara model for the reboot, Tomb Raider reboot?
Oh, I think there's one in the reboots. I know there's one in Tomb Raider Anniversary.
Pointy boobs and everything?
Yeah, it's literally her Tomb Raider 1 3D model. Not even her Tomb Raider 2 or 3 model, which actually both look kind of good. But the Tomb Raider 1 model, the one that nobody really wants to remember.
Oh, right. The one with the mullet.
Yeah, and I know in MGS4 there was the PS1 mask for Snake.
Yeah, it was the mask. It was only the mask, though, which I kind of felt was a missed opportunity. MGS5, you had the entire suit. The entire body.
I think the new Max Payne game has the original Max Payne face.
Yeah.
The lemon face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I may just have to get that then.
I think it's like a graphically upgraded version of it though. So it's like increased model quality and everything. So you get to see what that Max Payne would have looked like fully realized in a new generation.